Well, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of presenting to you, for those of you who don't know, and just welcoming our own former senator from the 12th Suffolk District. Now, you know, it's an honor because I could actually say I've known her since she was in the womb. It's true. You know, I've watched her grow up. I have watched her as she went through school, worked with Charlotte Gola Ritchie, became a leader and a force in her own right, lead her home and have children, and developed her own style of leadership, her own sense of self, her own course of action, and how she's engaged. And you know what the most proud moment for me has been watching her lead. Now, if you grew up in Boston in the 70s, to watch this young Haitian American take the mic at the St. Patrick's Day breakfast, right? And the way that she handled it. Now, and it's, you know, and the grace in which she handled it, the way that she embraced everyone who came, and the fact that when you stand in that space, it's not simply about you. It is about the light that you represent for those who didn't even believe. You know how many times folks didn't feel safe to even go there? And now it was really an example of how this city has moved forward, about the grace of us as a people, about acceptance, about courage. It represented so much to have that. And so I am so delighted this evening that I have the distinct honor and pleasure, by the grace of these lovely women, come on now, to invite her to accept this amazing award. And I hope you guys will invite the gentleman who actually did this beautiful work to join you. Because from 4 wonderful women created by an amazing Haitian American here in the City Council, from the city at the top of a hill, one more time, the beacon shines. Please put your hands together for Senator Linda Dorcena. And we'd love to invite our very own, the artist himself, Joseph Sherry, to please come forward.
So if our artists will indulge us with a couple of words about this incredible work. On behalf of my fellow sisters in service, I'm sure we don't have to make the case any more than the eloquent words by Marie St-Fleur as to why we wanted to capstone and end this event by celebrating Linda Forry, Senator Linda Forry. But we did not want to give her, since we're elected officials ourselves, we did not want to give her a clock or a glass plaque. We wanted to give her something that truly embodied what today's theme is about: the African diaspora and a celebration of Black immigrants, and that includes its artists.
That's right. Yes.
And so we wanted to invest in a local artist while offering and saluting our sister in service with a permanent gift. And so I'll bring the artist to the podium for a couple of words to talk about the piece. And then the next voice you hear will be Senator Forry, and then we'll do photos, and then everyone can eat, okay? I think. Oh, we do have a performance. We have a performance. Okay.
Hi, my name is Joseph Sherry. This painting, a year and a half after the 2010 earthquake that devastated Haiti, I visited my homeland, and I was also devastated to see how the rubbles were still there, somewhat undisturbed. As I traveled through the affected areas and cities, everything looked as if the earthquake had happened the day before. But yet, I was still uplifted when I saw women coming together in small groups to sweep the streets of their neighborhoods. So this painting is about the resolve of every one of us to do everything that we can to advance, to improve our lives, no matter what bad situation we are in or facing. So I thank the counselors selected a most appropriate painting to offer to our senator, not simply because it is my work, but also because it symbolizes the work, the tireless work, the amazing work that Senator Forry has done over the past, 2 decades in public life to sweep away poverty from her district. So as a former constituent of the senator, I lend my voice to that of the city council and to that of the beautiful councilors here to say thank you to my senator.
All right, wow, here we go. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is an honor for me to be here with all of you. I want to thank my colleagues and these women for putting together this incredible event. Our City Council President, Andrea Campbell, City Councilor at Large, Ayanna Pressley, City Councilor Kim Janey, City Councilor Lydia Edwards, thank you. And to our colleagues, City Councilor Ed Flynn, City Councilor Josh Zakum, and I know City Councilor Matt O'Malley was here. Thank you for being here this evening. I want to thank Marie St-Fleur. My goodness. How do I mean, I'm done. Bye, everyone. It's like, really. But I want to thank you, Marie. Really, thank you for being a role model, but for setting the stage and being the first as a Haitian American official to run for office, not just here in Massachusetts, but in the United States. Right. So give it up for Marie St-Fleur, please. Oh, man. Ooh, ooh. Okay, I just want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank the awardees. Thank you for being recognized, and thank you, women, for recognizing them in their work, right? Dr. Bonet, who we've known a long time in Mattapan doing the work of the people. Yvette Modestine, thank you for your artistry and your poetry, for sharing with us today. Dr. Natalicia Tracy, thank you for the work that you're doing with the Brazilian community and letting them know that they belong here in our great state. And to Dico Jabril, you are a powerhouse. And I thank you, and it's awesome. Although you were a quick girl, I know you could have talked more. So I'm just gonna say, no, hey, we all are. But really to set the stage and to uplift the Somalian community, thank you. Because this is what this evening's about. This evening is about the diaspora and the Black immigrants and us celebrating one another, but also celebrating with our partners, our white brothers and sisters, recognizing that we're all immigrants. Right. We all came from somewhere, and your families came somewhere to our great America. And I can tell you I've been blessed for 22 years to serve in public service, and for 13 of those years to be elected. It has been an honor, because as a child of immigrants born and raised in Dorchester, like immigrants who come before us, you leave everything behind. Not speaking English, not knowing this country. But you come and you venture out. because you know there's greater opportunity for you and your families and the children you're going to create. And that's what happened with me. My parents came here from Haiti not speaking a lick of English, but they knew what America was about. And they settled, and they had us. They had their kids, and they said, work hard. And we heard that today. They said, work hard, because we know education is it. Education is a way to lift ourselves out of poverty. Education is a way for us to create a better life than what our parents set the stage for us before. And that's what I did. And so to be able to serve and to live in this great city and, to raise my family with my husband and my 4 children, but to be the sandwich generation. Even though I have my kids and my husband, my parents are 80. My dad has Alzheimer's. My grandmother's 103. And so I say that because we are a generation and we are an immigrant community in terms of the Black immigrant. And how do we care for one another? And how do we put aside the labels? And that was talked about here tonight. That being Black, it's when I left as the only Black senator in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for 5 years, right? The only one for 5 years. That wasn't really said until I left. Until I left, the article said, oh, wow, Senator Linda Dorcena Forry is the only Black state senator in the Commonwealth. Well, I've been the only Black for 5 years, and no one said anything. And so this is where we have to be able, and Marie said this, and Modestine said this, is that it doesn't matter if we come from Brazil or from Africa or the Caribbean or African American in this country. We are one people. Amen. And it's important because it's easy to divide us, right? It's easy to divide us because when you say now she's the only Black, because folks didn't recognize me on this, that why? Probably because moi parle Creole, right? Probably because I speak Creole. Some ka di nou mka pale Creole jodi, a mwen di merci a City Council yo jodi, a mwen di nou merci. Parce que là dans City Boston, dans City Hall, nous dit qu'on ça que n'a reconnaître immigrants diaspora africain. N'a reconnaître contribution immigrants, communauté immigrants nous fait dans Boston avec les États-Unis. C'est belle bagaille nous na soya. Pour nous belle bagaille. All right. It's a good day, right? It's a good thing that we are here today to celebrate. And I say that because this is where the conversation has to start. And not just us as the immigrant and Black community and diaspora, yes, because we have to be united. But once we could get past our labels, whether you speak Spanish or Creole or Cape Verdean Creole or whatever language, right? We are all Black. And so I say this because when I walk into a room, I recognize that I am a Black woman. When I walk into the room, you don't say, oh, wow, Linda's Haitian. No, you see me and you see I'm Black. And so that's what you say. And I say that, which is important, because it's recognizing the experience. Not just I stand on my parents' experience. As my dad, who now has Alzheimer's, I'm telling you, but for 4 decades, he cleaned bathrooms at hospitals, at Beth Israel and Children's Hospital. My mom was a home health aide who took care of your loved ones at home to make sure they ate and they were bathed and they were clothed. But they put food on our table and they put us through school. And my faith as being a Catholic grew up in my faith because of my parents. But I say this because it's not just standing on my parents' shoulders, but on the wall, I got to recognize the staff, and y'all recognize staff of your staff, but my staff is here too. And Seferina Muro, my chief of staff, is here. Ketcha Nazir Allen, my constituent services and immigration policy. My former chief of staff, Sean Pierce, is here. Sean's here. And I say this because these are the folks, right? All of your teams is what makes you and builds you up and makes sure that the work gets done. But I say this because in the office that I had in the State House, there was a picture of Rosa Parks sitting on the bus on my wall. Because yes, as a first-generation American of Haitian immigrants, I recognize the African-American struggle. I recognize the struggle of Black Americans here in our great country. And once we're able to do that, and for us to connect as the Black diaspora, the immigrants, to connect as one people, we are going to be able to have this incredible conversation with our partners, of our partners who are from Irish descent, who are from Italy, who are from Europe, for us to have courageous conversations. And recognizing that we have to be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes. We put ourselves in other people's shoes because we have children that's coming up tomorrow. And we have to make it better for them. We have to make it better for them. And so I am honored. And I'm going to stop because the food, I'm starving too. I'm starving too, Dico. And so I'm going to wrap up. And I say this because I want us to be able to have the conversation. Because sometimes when race comes up, people are like, God, do we talk about it? No, we should talk about it. When busing comes up, people who don't live here in Boston, they like, oh man, there's black people in Boston? Yeah, there's black people in Boston. Come on. This is the place to be. Boston's the best, right? And so, but it's important for us to have the conversation to recognize people's experiences during that time, whether it was a white family or a black family. Because I can tell you when I was running for state senate and I was on a black radio station, and I was listening to the radio as I drove to Grove Hall. And a woman called the show, and she was like, wow, you know what? So I get to the station, and Sister Virginia, Grove Hall, was speaking to her, and we're talking, and she's like, you know what, Linda? Growing up, we had a lot of kids. My parents used to take us to the beach in South Boston. We used to go clamming. On Saturdays and Sundays, we would go look for clams in Southie. And so I said to her, I said, really? I said, were there white families there too? Right? And she was like, yeah. White families were clamming, we were clamming. Were there issues? She's like, no. It was a weekend. People were talking to each other, and conversation was happening, and that's what it was. So as I say this because we have to be able to have the conversation, and it doesn't have to be angry. It doesn't have to be upsetting. It just has to be us willing to listen to someone's experience. And once we listen to that experience where someone can say, you know what, I remember my dad driving through Southie when I was a kid, had my sister Colleen and my brother Franz in the car, and a rock went through the window, right? And they came home really quick. And they're like, oh my goodness, this is what happened. And I'm just like, what? I don't really know. I'm a kid, and everything like that. So here I am, I grow up and I run for, state senate. And I'm like, I'm going to run for, to be state senator, Mattapan, Dorchester, South Boston. My father's like, what? South Boston? Like, what are you talking? I'm like, yeah, Papi, it's changed. Like, it's different. It is a different place, okay? It is not like that anymore. But, but that's the piece, right? Is to be able to sit around the table and have the conversation. But more importantly, it's not just conversation, and I'm gonna stop. It's stepping up and responding and taking action when something is said that is not acceptable. When something is said that devalues our values here in our great America. When our government can say things that are off-putting to put down a whole continent or a whole country, we have to respond because this behavior cannot be normalized. We cannot normalize this behavior. But that's just not on the federal side, but it's here too at home. It's here too in your neighborhoods. It's here too in your home and with your friends over dinner, and a friend says something, think it's funny, but it's off-putting. It's a little off-color. Well, that is your responsibility to say, wait up, that's not funny. Hold up, let's back it up. Why did you say that? Let's peel back the layers, and this is where conversation happens. Doesn't have to be angry. We can laugh and smile, have drinks, break bread. Doesn't have to be happy. This is how we heal our city. This is how we heal our community and move forward. I want to thank Joseph Sherry for this beautiful painting Because it says, out of destruction, there is beauty. Out of heartache and pain, there is things that are beautiful. Out of tough conversations, we rise on the other side stronger together. So thank you all, and God bless. Love you all.